Trash, all you cyberpunks and retro nerds. You got Tommy the Hammer, you got Olivia, you got BC, and you got Rocket. Tonight, it's Friday night, we're hanging out, per the usual. It's BC's pick. He's got a doozy of a Japanese tale with him today. What you got, BC?
So today I have brought a film called Vengeance is Mine. I got the Criterion Collection version, which I'm pretty excited about. And essentially, this is a film that is loosely based on a real-life serial killer from Japan. This came out in the late 1970s, and I'm really excited about it. I'm going in blind. The only thing I really know is that the director is like highly acclaimed. He's won the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival twice. He's the only Japanese director to do so, so that's pretty impressive.
So without further ado, let Tommy Boy dig up the trailer. Do it, Tommy Boy!
Beep that shit! Try that again.
Why do you like to beep that shit?
I don't know! I want that to be like a catchphrase.
Okay.
Yeah, you've done it so often, it's a good catchphrase.
I've done it a few times, but okay.
You've done it a million times.
So without further ado, we're going to be checking out the trailer. Tommy Boy, load it up, beep that shit. We'll be right back, motherfucker.
He said the thing!
Yeah.
「現代社会は空洞化」「うごめく人間の本性を鋭く描いて巨匠今村昌平が今世に問う復讐するは我にある」あんたの言うた通り用意してきたんじゃ5万円な勘弁してくれ実は奥さんにあんた住所がおるとは知らなかったんじゃもう二度とあげなことはせんけな頼む当たり前じゃ今度やりよったら貴さんの家に火かけちゃるけ先生あんた来ないってお前おいが無所暮らしの間親父と毎晩つるんどったとか言うときだきた安田の言うとった大股広げてお父さんち言いよったと
そんなこと言いません
しゃくら神様ずらして息子ん嫁のケツのほくろば拝んじょって何ちゅうこと言うとか貴様こんなごつ主はけだもんじゃ
I thought this was a really good movie. You know, I'm glad that, BC brought this over. Initially when it started, I thought to myself, I was like, where is my alignment with this film? Like, what is my connection? What am I enjoying about it? Because I was kind of lost. I feel like the best movies that draw audiences in take you someplace. But at the same time, I feel like there was a couple of slow moments, maybe 3 or 4. And when these moments did arise, I wasn't put off of the movie necessarily. They were just more apparent because you're really drawn into this psychopath and you want more of him on the screen. So when he's not there or you're moved on to like a different character or you're fleshing out some other plot arc, you want that kinetic insanity. It's fast-paced, you know? You're like, what the fuck's going on with this guy? You know, and towards the end of the film, BC was like, I'm just loving the way this guy is doing these scenes, the way he presents himself. At the end of the day, you got to respect the director, the actors. This is a smorgasbord. You've got the soundtrack, you've got these actors, you've got this story, and a terrific time period for this movie to come out. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this is a fun movie. I love films from the late 1970s. Like, this movie looks like it comes from that era, and it utilizes all the best aspects of that time period. Vengeance is Mine, good movie. I'm glad you brought it over here. I'm gonna pass it on to Rocket. We're gonna jump over to the other side of the room. I like to surprise motherfuckers. Vengeance is Mine.
I feel like I have been taken to film school watching this, honestly. Like, this, I mean, is not really in my wheelhouse, honestly. Like, I've never been huge in the whole, like, crime, drama, thriller thing. Like, yeah, I can kind of take it or leave it as a genre, but just to study Japanese filmmaking of late 1970s, like, it's just to see, you know, the Japanese way of telling a story, like, back then. It really kind of helps put a perspective on some of the newer Japanese films I've seen, you know. Like, I can see some of the things, the way they like to do things, you know, similar shots, you know, that they like to use, you know, just certain ways they like to tell stories, you know, and the way they like to write dialogue.
Who are you passing it to?
Olivia.
Olivia. Do it, girl. What did you think about that?
Do it!
Do it!
I didn't know what I was going to say.
Oh,
no! I thought the cinematography was very interesting, and it kept you intrigued because it was always changed up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it was always notable. But I thought it was pretty good, and I enjoyed the storyline. But they also, like, flipped around where at the beginning it started at the end of the story, and then moved around as it went throughout, so it kind of kept you guessing what was going to happen in between.
Yeah, you knew where it was going to go.
Yeah.
Right.
You knew the ending, but you didn't know how it got there.
Non-linear storylines.
Yeah.
And, like, considering, you know, when we think of American filmmakers that do that now, like, Tarantino is heavily influenced by Asian
Correct.
cinema. And he says it himself. It's not a secret. So
no,
it's like,
not.
they definitely they find ways to tell straightforward stories in, like, unconventional ways. But that keeps it interesting.
Keeps on your toes.
But, I mean, yeah, for me, I mean, this was a blind watch for all of us.
Yes.
You know, I've been, like, slowly building my Criterion collection. I see this Japanese film. I see it's about a killer. I see 1970s. I'm sold. So I got it. I got it, and I have to say I actually think I liked it more than I thought I would. I really liked this. I'm gonna say the same as everyone else. The main actor, Ken Ogata, played this serial killer, I mean, perfectly. I don't think he
Nailed it.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about other, like, villains, even in Japanese cinema, like Kakihara and Ichi the Killer. I mean, this guy walked with that same type of swagger, and he's a completely deplorable human being.
Terrible.
And yet you want him on the screen. You're like, I need to see more.
Yeah,
Like,
right?
He's engaging. He's
so kinetic.
He's exciting. He's scary. Like, he's all of this, all at the same time. I think if I did have any complaint to this film is that maybe it was a little bit too long, and that's like a small complaint. I would actually rather a movie be too long than, you know, have me wanting like a ton more, like wishing I saw a lot more. That's how I stand on it.
I was gonna say, go ahead and let's do star count starting with BC. Yeah, we'll go in reverse order here. So let's start with BC.
All right. So
I'm 10 stars.
I can see this being a movie that I'd revisit, despite it being like a slow burn and a little long. There's just, I really loved the main character, and sometimes a really good like lead actor is really all you need to carry a film. But this had all of the other things going for it too. So for me, I don't think it's quite perfect, but it's close. I'm going a 9.5.
Whoa!
I really liked it.
Ah, wowzers.
That's what I'm going.
So,
bringing it to you.
Oh! Olivia's.
I'm gonna say an 8.5.
Ooh.
Which is pretty high, but it's just not quite there.
Almost.
But it's still pretty good, I think.
Nice.
okay. I will say I did think it did run a little long, but I can understand, like, for the kind of audience they're going for your regular, Japanese audience, like, this would be a fascinating character study, so I can see them running long with it. So I can't really fault it for that. But that being said, the genre is really not my thing so much, but I did enjoy the film. I'll give it a solid 7.5.
Ooh. Well, goddamn. That just leaves old Tommy P over here. Vengeance is Mine. Great movie. I like this a lot. It does run a little long in the tooth in certain regards. There were definitely some moments where I was slightly confused, but that's because you've got a lot of different characters, a lot of time shifts in the narrative. We're in the 50s, we're in the 60s, we're in the 70s. You're all over the fucking place, but that's just the basic scope of this movie. Personally speaking, I think this is a solid 8, 8.5. I found the main villain character to be fascinating. The same way that you find the Joker fascinating, or a James Bond villain fascinating. You want to see more of that motherfucker on screen. So its faults, as small as they are and minuscule as they are, to me, really don't matter, because at the end of the day, you've got this strong narrative, you've got the strong lead, you know what I'm saying? And this is based on a real motherfucker. So you've got that historical aspect backing it up. When you're watching it, you're just going, oh yeah, this guy's done some shit like this for real though. I liked it a lot, and I'm glad that BC brought over. Excellent selection, my good sir.
Thank you.
Yes,
So
liked it. Keep going. No,
which ending do you want? Can I...
Go eat that shit.
Do it. You do it.
Well, alright. I hope we've been informative, you guys. Until the next time, tune in to
your mama's
Trash.
pussy.